She's strong. She's successful. She's independent. Everyone around her says, wow, she's amazing. You have everything together. But behind closed doors, something completely different is happening. Her relationship feels distant. Intimacy feels complicated. She's tired of being the one who leads, decides, plans, fixes everything. And even with all her strength, her heart feels heavy, her mind races, her body is exhausted. And here's the part nobody ever talks about. The same strength that helped her survive, succeed, and rise in life might be the same strength hurting her ability to love and be loved. So here's the real question. Can an independent woman thrive in love without losing herself? Today, we're diving into the hidden pain strong women carry and how God brings healing, balance, and peace back into their relationships. Many women today are independent, not because they wanted to be, but because life forced them to be. Maybe she grew up without support. Maybe she learned early that if she didn't handle things, nobody would. Maybe she built her career from the ground up, and that journey made her tough, resilient, unstoppable. But emotional toughness comes with a price, and that price often shows up in her relationship. Some women say things like, "Why do I always have to lead?" Others whisper, "He acts like another child, not a partner." And deep inside, they carry a quiet sadness. Why do I feel so alone, even when someone is right next to me? Psychology calls this overfunctioning, when one person carries far too much responsibility in the relationship. Spiritually, it's when a woman carries a burden God never intended her to carry alone. And when she stays in survival mode for too long, her body runs on cortisol. Her nervous system never relaxes. She can't let go. She can't soften. And intimacy begins to lose its warmth because her heart no longer feels safe enough to surrender. But what if God already understood this struggle? What if He created women with both strength and softness, and He never intended those two parts of her to fight each other? This tension you feel between independence and connection, it's not new, it's not strange, and it's not your fault. It's simply a sign that something in your life is misaligned with the way God originally designed relationships to work. The Bible gives a very different picture of a woman than the world does. Proverbs 31 describes a woman who is strong, skilled, wise, hardworking, and deeply respected. She is not weak. She is not passive. She is powerful. But here's what modern culture forgets. She is not alone. She leads with strength, but she also knows when to receive. She carries many things, but she doesn't carry everything. 1 Peter 3 says a woman's greatest beauty is a gentle and quiet spirit. Not quiet as in silent, but quiet as in peaceful. A spirit that rests, that trusts, that doesn't need to control everything just to feel safe. That is what makes her beautiful from the inside. And Ephesians 5 shows us God's design for relationship. Not competition, not domination, but partnership. The husband leads in love. The wife responds in trust. Both sacrifice for each other. Both honor each other. Both move together, not against each other. This is why Ecclesiastes says, "Two are better than one." God never called a woman to lift everything alone. Now that we understand the real struggles independent women carry and God's design for women, let's go deeper. Because to bring real healing, we have to look at the 5 most common problems that independent women face in their relationships. And the truth is, these wounds do not heal with more independence. They heal with alignment. Alignment with how God designed love, partnership, and intimacy to work. Let's start with problem number 1, transactional relationships and the resentment they create. Many independent women say, "I feel like the only adult in this relationship." The relationship becomes transactional. She leads, she decides, she carries everything, and he steps back, feeling unsure, unseen, or even unnecessary. Over time, resentment quietly grows between them. She feels tired and unsupported. He feels inadequate or pushed out, and the teamwork God designed slowly begins to fall apart. But the Bible actually gives us a clear picture of relationship balance. Ephesians 5:22-25 says, "For wives, this means submit to your husbands as to the Lord. For a husband is the head of his wife, as Christ is the head of the church. For husbands, this means love your wives, just as Christ loved the church." So what does this actually mean? It means the husband is called to lead with love, not force. The wife is called to respond with trust, not pressure. Both have roles that support each other. Both sacrifice for each other out of love. This creates balance, not control. When she steps back from doing everything, she gives him space to step forward. The resentment begins to fade. Respect starts to return, and the relationship finally feels like a team again, just like God designed it to be. But resentment isn't the only thing that suffers. Intimacy suffers too. Now let's talk about the second issue many independent women face: difficulty with intimacy and vulnerability. Another common struggle is intimacy. Not just physical intimacy, but emotional closeness too. Many independent women stay in what I call constant control mode. Their mind is always on, always alert. Their heart is always protected, always guarded. They feel responsible for everything, even in moments that should feel safe. And here's the real issue. You can't be in control and fully vulnerable at the same time. Your body won't let you. And when your body doesn't feel safe enough to soften, intimacy loses its magic, its closeness, its warmth. The Bible actually speaks to the kind of inner peace that allows intimacy to grow. 1 Peter 3:4. You should clothe yourselves instead with the beauty that comes from within, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is so precious to God. Song of Songs 2:16. My lover is mine, and I am his. So what does this mean? It means God values the kind of heart that feels safe enough to trust. Intimacy grows when there is emotional peace, not pressure. Softness isn't weakness. It's the doorway to closeness. Connection happens when her guard comes down and her heart finally rests. When a woman learns to relax her grip and let love in, intimacy becomes warm again. It becomes mutual. It becomes alive. But when a woman stays in control mode for too long, her body starts to break under the pressure. This brings us to the third struggle: chronic stress, burnout, and how it affects her health. When a woman carries the weight of everything, emotionally, financially, mentally, her body shifts into survival mode. Cortisol becomes her fuel, stress becomes her normal, and burnout slowly, quietly, becomes her identity. Some women tell me, my body feels tired all the time. I feel like I can't breathe unless I'm doing something. This isn't because she's weak. It's because she's carrying a weight God never asked her to carry alone. And Jesus gives the perfect answer to this kind of exhaustion. Matthew 11:28-30. Then Jesus said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light." So this means God never wanted her to live in burnout. Rest begins by letting go of what's too heavy. Peace comes when she stops trying to do everything alone. Her body heals when her soul finally rests in God. When she stops overfunctioning and allows others, including her partner, to carry the weight with her, her nervous system begins to settle. Her hormones start to stabilize. Her joy slowly returns. But even with all this strength, something deeper can happen. She can end up feeling completely alone, even when she's not. Which leads us to the fourth challenge: isolation and loneliness inside the relationship. This is one of the most painful struggles independent women face: feeling alone, even while standing right next to someone who loves them. Because when a woman avoids vulnerability, or refuses help, or hides her emotions just to stay strong, the people around her begin to assume she doesn't need them. And slowly, the relationship becomes emotionally quiet. He stops trying, she stops sharing, and they live together but feel worlds apart. But God never designed love to work like this. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10. Two people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help. But someone who falls alone is in real trouble. This means God designed relationships for connection, not isolation. Opening up isn't a burden, it's a bridge. Letting someone support you creates closeness, not weakness. Being strong alone is survival, but being strong together is love. When she lets her partner into her emotional world, even just a little, loneliness begins to fade. Walls start to fall, and the relationship becomes warm again, alive again. But there's one more struggle that often hides underneath all the others: the painful cycle of doing everything yourself. This takes us to the fifth struggle, the trust problems, and the habit of doing everything yourself. Many independent women struggle with something called overfunctioning, doing more than their share, more than they should, more than anyone ever even asked them to. Why? Because it feels safer to depend on herself than to depend on anyone else. So she refuses help. She handles everything. She never asks, she never receives. But here's the painful part. She ends up frustrated that no one supports her, even though she never allowed them to. The Bible reveals something important about partnership. Genesis 2:18. Then the Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper who is just right for him."
So what does this verse tell us? It tells us God created partnership, not solo survival. Helper means a strong partner, an equal, not a servant. She was never meant to do everything herself. And when she lets her partner contribute, teamwork finally begins. When she stops carrying every burden alone, she finally gives her relationship space to grow. He feels needed again. She feels supported again. And they finally start working as a team, just like God designed. And the good news is, every one of these wounds can be healed when a woman realigns herself with God's design for love. So when we look at everything together, we begin to see something powerful. God understands the struggles independent women face, and He provides clear answers for every single one. Here are the conclusions for the 5 problems, and the simple solutions based on God's Word. Problem number 1 was transactional relationships and resentment, and the solution is simple. Share the load and allow partnership to grow again. Problem number 2 was difficulty with intimacy and vulnerability, and the answer is letting your heart feel safe enough to soften. Problem number 3 was chronic stress and burnout, and Jesus offers this solution. Stop carrying everything alone and find rest in Him. Problem number 4 was isolation and loneliness, and healing comes when you let someone in and allow real connection to return. Problem number 5 was trust problems and the habit of doing everything yourself, and the key is simple but powerful. Let your partner help so the relationship can become a team again. Every one of these struggles is real, but each one has a clear path to healing when you align your heart with God's design. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. If this video spoke to you or helped you in any way, please consider liking the video, subscribing, and tapping the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future uploads. Your support truly helps this channel grow, and it allows us to share God's truth with even more people who need encouragement. Share your thoughts or your story in the comments below. It truly means a lot, and your words might encourage someone else who is watching. Thanks again for being here. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one.